Welcome to the Juggling Mind and Money podcast with Steve Rowe and Jessica Schlupp-Taylor. Steve Rowe is the founder of Lucent Financial Planning and an award-winning independent financial planner. He helps you to use your money and have a great life. Jess Schlupp-Taylor is a psychologist supporting people through change, challenges, and forks in the road of life. Together, they will help unblock the sludge in your mind, stopping you from achieving financial and psychological happiness.
Hello, welcome to episode 34 of Juggling Mind and Money, the podcast where we talk about how to live a happy life and get over any money worries that you have. I'm Steve Rowe, founder of Lucent Financial Planning, and today we have a special guest, one of our clients. I nearly said esteemed clients, but I'm leaving it at clients. One of our clients, Ian Archbold. Ian, thanks for coming on today. Tell us what's your name and where you come from.
Well, Steve, my name's Ian Archbold, as you've already said. I am a client. Obviously not in the esteemed bracket yet.
You're an esteemed one.
So there's room to grow. That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm originally from Newcastle, but now live in beautiful Newcastle, and now live in beautiful Oxfordshire. And I'm married to my beautiful wife, Kath, who you know very well, and you know her brother very well and her family very well. So that's how I got to know you.
Yes. So Kath's dad educated me.
He did all right. I mean, there's probably a bit of room for improvement, but he didn't do too badly, did he?
I actually remember him giving us an economics lesson. Only the one. Then he gave up and left. But
supply and demand, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. He didn't mention elasticity or any of that stuff. Anyway, before we get on to economics, which would turn everyone off, let's talk about some important matters. So, Ian, you have graciously said yes to my request to come on this because you've got a number of good things that we could talk about. And today, we're going to talk about the benefits of having a financial advisor. God, you think I'd know what I do, wouldn't you?
And you've not paid me to say anything, I should add that.
No, you have not. And you haven't briefed me in what you are going to say, actually, so hopefully it will be good. But the benefits of having a financial advisor when you didn't think you would need one. Because you know the score about stuff, don't you? So the benefits of an advisor, and also you're approaching, as anyone watching on YouTube will be able to tell, you're approaching retirement shortly.
I mean, come on. I still look like I'm under 40.
You do. You've got great skin, actually, Ian. I often remark.
I've got very good skin on a soft focus video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an episode of Dynasty from 1987. Isn't it? That's right, Dex.
Well, I didn't watch Dynasty. I was more of a Dallas man myself.
Did you not?
No.
Dynasty, brilliant. Obviously, we would say Dynasty, but it's Dynasty.
It is.
Can you get that on UK TV Gold or anything?
I don't know. I'll have to have a look.
Because I'd like to watch it.
I haven't got that much time to watch telly, so maybe when I do retire, I'll put that on the list.
Well, that's what we're also going to talk about, what you might do in retirement. So there's one thing that you could write down, that everyone could write down. So Ian, I think we'll start, give you some killer questions.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of interviewer.
Rapid fire sort of stuff.
Well, not rapid fire, but because I can't speak that quick. Killer questions. So Ian, tell us what you do for a career. You don't have to give specifics. Tell us how you got to the point in your life where you thought, might need a financial advisor.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I am by qualification a chartered management accountant, and I've been working since 1989, and I've had worked with various companies, Ford and Diageo, and then now Haleon, which is, we'll talk about Haleon if we want to, but so I work at Haleon, but actually about 11, 12 years ago, I moved out of finance and into reward. and
Which sounds very rewarding.
sounds very rewarding, and to be fair, it can be extremely rewarding in terms of satisfaction. So a lot of people probably wonder what the heck does somebody who does reward do. So I literally do pay, benefits, pensions, shares, salary for, well, Haleon's a company of 25,000 employees globally. So my accountability sits over that.
Wow. So you design
Which is very interesting.
All the benefits package, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that we have to do, there's some stuff that we want to do, and there's some stuff that we do. So that maybe we want to change it, but we look at that globally, and that's right from the CEO down to all the organisation. So it is very, very interesting. And if you'd asked me 20 years ago when I was in finance, where would you be when you're in your late 50s or whatever, what would you be doing? I definitely wouldn't have said this. So it was a unexpected but genuinely very rewarding career move. It's been really fun, really enjoyed it, and it's been a good little roller coaster for the last few years.
Because did I met you and your wife, I'd never heard of such a role, and you wouldn't think that there would be, would you? Because you think,
I mean, I think all the listed companies, the big listed companies on the FTSE, will all have a reward function at some level, because they have to do certain things for their executives. They have to report, there's regulations to follow. They have to put stuff in the annual report. So that's part of it. But if you've got a company of multi-country, thousands of employees, those employees expect certain things, and it's not just a pay packet at the end of a month. It's pension, it's benefits, it's pensions, it's sometimes it's shares and being able to participate in share schemes. So I would say the bigger companies have it, but all the FTSE companies will have something like this, just on different scale, I guess. And a lot of private companies will have it if they're multinationals.
Yeah, because it's very responsible, isn't it? Because if most firms, obviously, a big part of their costs is employees.
Salary. Yeah, employee costs, yeah.
So you have a massive effect on the profits of the business. But also, you can't just be tight and not pay it out. You need to use it. That's what people will be thinking. You need to use it to entice people, don't you? The best talent.
So, I mean, so there's kind of multiple aspects to it. One of them is bonus. So we are accountable for agreeing the bonus design and the operation for, again, for many thousands of employees globally. And we've just finished our financial year, 2025. It's a calendar year basis. So, we're having those conversations now. And we'll be paying out bonuses if we are paying out bonuses in March and April. So that's kind of an important part of it. And then you've got annual salary reviews, which most companies will have, inflation, looking at inflation and deciding what to do about people's pay, and do you give them a pay increase and stuff like that. So there's lots of different aspects to it that probably, people might take it for granted that these things just happen, but there's actually quite a lot of thinking goes into it. So I find it really interesting. I really do.
One of the really fascinating things about my job is finding out about all of the other careers, and whether it's business owners and how they started them, or to roles like yours where you just, I would never sit down and think, what sort of roles are they within a business? But, even these, such as pay, there's a role for everyone, isn't there?
There is.
It's quite fascinating.
These are all the things you could have done, you see, had you not done what you've done.
But do you remember when you was in careers class at school, and they go, "What do you want to do?" And you don't know anything, do you? You know about doctors because you've been to one. If you've got
bus
glasses,
drivers, doctors, train drivers,
bakers, all the stuff
dentists.
You've experienced.
Yeah.
But all the really cool stuff you've never heard of.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about. I didn't even know reward existed until probably maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Certainly didn't see. Actually, Kath, my wife, she also works in reward, and she used to come
from Kath. Pre you, I think.
She used to come and talk to me about it in Diageo, actually, many years ago, looking for information. That's when I was in finance.
She helped me actually with one of our first employees.
You see, got to get them right. You got to pay them right. Got to attract them with the right salary, but you don't want to upset other people as well. And it's all lots of things to think about.
That is a thing, isn't it? People get upset by others. See, I am a very open person, and I would be like, just let everyone knows each other's. Let's have a row about it. not a row, but let's have a
discussion, a constructive debate
about why some people get more.
I mean, I also have two Gen Z children, and I think my career and growing up in the different companies, you really didn't talk about what you were paid to other people, except maybe your line manager and somebody else. If you were having a discussion with them about something to do with you, you never talked about what other people were paid. Whereas I get the impression that the Gen Z population are much more open about this sort of stuff, which I find that very interesting.
They tell each other.
They talk about it with each other. Yeah. Maybe not if they're in the same company, although sometimes they do, but they definitely talk about it with their friends much more openly than we would have done.
Right, so this is interesting. So do you think that might be the demise of the British culture of keeping things quiet and not talking about money?
I do think there's a bit more openness to it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I don't, I think as long as you're not using it inappropriately, I think it's fine.
As Billy Bragg sang, some things are better left unspoken. I'd rather it all be out in the open.
Wise words from Billy.
He's good, isn't he?
He's good. He is good, yeah.
Good. I feel like we should have an interlude now, listening to some Billy Bragg songs.
What, from your sponsors?
Yeah. Well, as yet invisible sponsors. Where are you?
Yeah. Where are exactly? Indeed. I keep waiting every time I listen to the podcast. I'm waiting for a surprise sponsor to appear, but I've been disappointed so far. Yeah.
To be fair, we have been sent socks a couple of times, but not by a sock.
Not by sponsors. Yeah.
I should have asked you that actually pre-show. Anyway.
Yeah. That's a different story.
So, potentially being. After you were harangued by your now father-in-law, my former headmaster, to come see me, what first sort of made you think, actually, even though I'm a chartered management accountant and I design everyone's pay packages for a mega huge company, so you know your stuff, you know your way around a spreadsheet and a tax return and things. Even though all that, what made you think, actually, I might need a bit of help, a bit of a guide?
Yeah, it's a good one because I kind of think of myself as probably more knowledgeable than most people. But actually,
that's what we were talking about.
On these sorts of topics, yeah? On these sorts of topics, not on other stuff, that's for sure, but more knowledgeable about finance and money and pensions and stuff like that. Because obviously I that's part of my job here is to understand this sort of stuff. But actually, I used to run an ISA for me, and I had junior ISAs for my kids for university, and they worked out really well, by the way. They were good decisions and helped to fund part of their university education. And for me, it was generally a good call. But actually, it just felt like I didn't have enough time to do it properly. And actually, as the amounts get a little bigger, you get a bit more concerned about managing it. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And actually, when we talked about it, and you've given me some very good advice over the past 3 to 4 years now. I think we've known each other probably about 4 years. You've given me some very, very good and pertinent advice, and given me advice on and given me information that I didn't know about. So I'm like, I might be knowledgeable, but I'm not an expert on all things financial advice.
That wasn't just about Billy Bragg songs.
It wasn't just about it wasn't just about Billy Bragg. No, it was a little bit more than that. Yeah. So for me, it was about really looking at, well, what have I got to manage, and actually, did I want the both the hassle and the risk of managing it myself, because getting it wrong can be quite an expensive experience. And actually, while I don't think I did a bad job managing what I had at the time, I think I wasn't really it wasn't really as good an outcome as I could have had I done it differently. And I just felt, actually, you know what? Am I not just better off asking somebody who knows what they're doing to do it for me and taking care of it? And I feel like, actually, in some respects, it's interesting because I think I've listened to some of the podcasts, obviously. I've listened to most of them now, actually. The first one was the first one was Comedy Gold. I wasn't sure it was a financial podcast, but it was absolute Comedy Gold, the first one. That was great.
Jess and I were rather overexcited then.
Yeah, I could tell. So if any listener hasn't listened to the first one of the series, I'd definitely go back and listen to that one. I've completely lost my train of thought now. But I think it was, I just felt like, I'd done okay, and the ISAs had grown and stuff like that. But when it came down to it, I didn't have the courage of my convictions to move quickly enough if I wanted to. And actually, really, the whole game around timing markets at the top or the bottom or whatever, whether you're selling or buying, I think you really need to know what you're doing. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like,
no one can do that, though.
I don't really want to do that.
No one can do that.
It just felt that I'd be better served working with an expert. And you taking that almost pressure off me was a positive for me.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think I've reduced, not anxiety, but stress, if there was a...
Yeah,
you're a relaxed
I never had
fella, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty chilled overall. Some of my colleagues at work might say differently occasionally, but that's a different story. I'm generally pretty chilled, and I never felt anxious about managing whatever I was managing. But I was a bit more like, I don't know if this is probably not as good as it could be. And actually, I don't like the feeling that I have to invest time to do it properly or do it well, and I don't really have the time to do it. And actually, so for me, it was quite liberating to not have to take care of stuff myself.
So I think this is underestimated, like the amount of time you need to spend to do it properly.
Yeah.
And it is like your life's money.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So you work all week for years on end to get money together, and you save a bit. So it is like everything. And if you're just sort of rushing it or making kind of decisions off the cuff or as a rule of thumb, that can lead to bad outcomes. But I think thinking's hard, isn't it? Well, I find it's hard. And when you finish your day job and then you have to do more thinking on what you're going to do with the produce of your day job, it's like having a second role.
That's thinking takes time, and I think sometimes it also requires concentrated effort and focus, and that isn't, I don't want to say my job's any different to lots of other people's jobs, but it's not something you necessarily get a lot of during the week or even at weekends. There's still interruptions and things go on. So you go, okay, well, if I want to do this properly, I actually need to be quite focused on it. And I just felt that just wasn't happening for me. And so, like I say, I think I'd done okay. And so if I was giving myself a mark out of 10 for what I did between like 2010 and 2020, I'd probably give myself a 7 out of 10. I made a positive return, and it was certainly it was double digit, but then obviously COVID came along, so that changed the dynamics, although it didn't last for long. But when it came down to it, it wasn't really something that I should have been doing too much of. And I'm quite happy with risk. Yeah, I'm quite comfortable taking risk. And I understand the whole, your capital's at risk and things might go up as much as they might go, or might go down as much as they go up. And I was always reassured when we spoke about that, the fact that, you've got so many models. I love a model. Yeah, I love a kind of a bit of a financial analysis, because obviously that's my heartland. And I love it when you go, well, if you look back 100 years or whatever, and you look at even the worst elements of the stock market, things can go wrong in 12, maybe even 24 months, but over 5 years, it's almost always better than leaving it in the bank. And over 10 years, it's 99% of the time, no, that's the right number, but 99% of the time, it's always going to be better putting it in equities.
That stress testing model we've got,
Yeah,
does it since 1950.
That was quite reassuring for me.
Well, it's real life. It's not averages. It's real life, actual history, actual things that have happened, different inflation rates, different interest rates, all this, all distilled down. And like when you go, look, at any point in history, you're basically all right.
Yeah, no, and I think, you'd be quite, so there on that basis, you'd be quite unlucky not to be all right, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And obviously anything's possible. And, I never sort of rule out. Obviously, I'm not at retirement yet. So at the moment, it's just a fund that's sitting with you, and, there's a bit extra in the ISA and stuff like that, but I'm not drawing on it now. I'm working and I'm living off my earnings. But as we'll probably come on to in a moment, we'll get into what does retirement look like and feel like and so on. And then I'll probably be more interested in short-term matters, just because I'll be like, I need to make sure I've got some in cash just in case the market drops, because I don't want to be selling out at the bottom of the market and all that sort of stuff. But those are conversations we've not had yet, Steve. But they're questions that I'll need to discuss with you, what matters to discuss.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're fun ones, actually. You might get more involved when you've got more time on your hands.
Yeah, and that's probably what I'm anticipating.
I'll divert you onto football or something.
Well, there's always that.
Well, like, Steve, I've read this book, The 4% Rule.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've read The 4-Hour Work Week as well, but some of these books they look good on the cover, but they're not quite so good when you get into them. But I'm sure The 4% Rule is fine.
So I'm going to call you, Ian, a busy executive. I'm going to put you in that basket
Category.
Is that okay? Mm-hmm. So yeah, busy executives. They're busy. So they've got the time to do a lot of stuff, really. Mm-hmm. And just like we'll call it outsourcing because it sounds more business-like and sexy, right? But just like you might get someone else to do, I don't know, your cleaning or fix your car. It's the same with money. And I think there's a certain people seem to think that because they're good at earning money means they will be good with money.
Managing it.
They're different things. Like people earn money because they're good at doing a certain thing. But it doesn't automatically imbue you with skills, and you'll have the same.
And it's interesting because, of course, I work with people in reward, and I deal with senior people who earn very good money, are well paid and so on, but actually they aren't all good with money necessarily in terms of how to manage it. Some don't understand how share plans works. Some are less confident on tax. Some are might not even fully understand how a bonus works and so on. So I think you're absolutely right, which is just because you might be capable and good at earning money and be well paid doesn't mean you've got the capability of managing your own money optimally or well. And I think that's absolutely right.
But also that time, if you're busy, just to implement it. So you might know how to make the best decisions. Like you might be the perfect optimum financial decision maker. But if you don't actually put it in place, then or put it in place well, because you might not have the tools to. Because
it's interesting you say that, because I got a good example of that. So in during COVID, and actually we all probably a lot of us had a lot more time on our hands if you were sitting at home, not commuting, not socializing, not generally not doing stuff. And it must have been quite early on, maybe April 2020. So just after we'd all been put into lockdown and stuff. I think I looked at a number of companies and who were in the pharmaceutical or medical kind of arena, and just did some basic research. And I made a list of them, and I said, "Well, these are probably the companies that if I was going to buy shares in companies right now, I'd buy." So I was alert to the fact that it creates opportunity. That sort of very distressing for many people, but also very disruptive for many people. That creates opportunities. And so anyway, I made a list of these companies, and of course, I never did anything about it. And one of them was Moderna, one of them was Pfizer. I can't remember all the companies, but literally of the 8 companies, I think 7 of them, their stock price went up like more than 100% in the space of, I don't know, I'm going to say 3 to 6 months. I can't remember the time frame now. And I remember saying to my son, I said, if I had done it, look at what I could have won. in the best spirit of Jim Bowen. But that was a good lesson as well, because I'm like, yeah, but I didn't do it, did I? And actually, so I didn't have the courage of my convictions, and actually I didn't really have the time or the confidence to go and do anything remotely bold on something like that. So I'm like, yeah, that was probably just maybe a year or so before you and I got introduced. And that was a good example of where I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing, but actually when it comes down to it, I don't do it.
But that is still betting, that is really.
It is gambling, yeah, it was. And I was prepared to...
You're picking a few companies.
I was prepared to put my money where I wasn't prepared to put my money where my mouth is. That's the problem. I was prepared to sort of believe that I could, but I didn't follow through on it. And yes, that is gambling to an extent.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of examples of that, but even just basic ones. Like, we can get investments more cheaply than you can go and buy the same investment yourself.
Yeah.
And that's just through economies of scale and having access to
those
tools.
I think, and obviously I'd worked at Diageo for quite a long time, and so I'd accumulated
Are you liking this to being able to get cheap booze?
No, well, I did get some cheap booze, and it was some of it was exceptionally good quality as well.
Yeah, good quality, but just lower cost because you work for them.
Lower cost. Well, you still have to pay the duty, so it wasn't quite as cheap as you'd like. But yeah, so I worked at Diageo for quite a while, and as a consequence of that, I'd accumulated quite a lot of shares when I left there, and you know, we were doing some work on our house, and I was talking to you about how do I finance it, and you were like, the first thing you should do, mate, is sell your Diageo shares.
Is that your Steve impression, is it?
No, because I can't do a kind of an Essex Brummy accent, so I don't know how to impersonate you, Steve. But that was the first thing. That was like the first real advice you gave me. You need to sell your Diageo shares.
I sort of vaguely remember saying that and thinking he'll never do it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
And I did it.
Yeah. I
didn't do them all in one go, but I did it. And yeah, I mean, let's just say that was a good bit of advice, because actually, had I been exposed... I mean, the Diageo share price is more than halved since I left. Oh, wow. I don't think those two things are correlated, by the way. Just to be clear, I don't think there's any causation or correlation there. Just a pure coincidence. But I'm like, yeah, he's right. You know, I should sell the shares because I'm heavily exposed to one company, and anything can happen.
Yeah, so that wasn't based on whether that company would do any good.
No, that wasn't what was going to happen. That was just based on pure portfolio management.
Risk.
Yeah, one company risk.
I thought that might have been okay because you haven't ever mentioned it.
But I only mentioned the things that don't quite work.
No, well, if it had soared.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I'd have probably been a bit annoyed about that. But at the same time, actually, I would have been like, well, those are the choices you make, yeah. And there's no point in going back and going, oh well, look at what I could have won, which is what I just said earlier, because there's no point in doing that. It's irrelevant. All you can do is go, I'll make the decision based on the best information I've got at that time, and some of that information and input comes from yourself, and then I go, okay, I've made the decision, move on, and there's no point in looking back and regretting it if you could have made more money, because it's like, well, that's just the way it goes. You just have to roll with it because it absolutely go the other way, and it did.
The thing is, like you mentioned it earlier, anything's possible. So
Yeah,
anything is possible, but we've always got to be thinking what's probable.
yeah,
Right? What's likely to happen, not what could happen, because otherwise you get into a bit of a death spiral of.
yeah. But the point about being heavily invested in one company was good advice.
But
And I won't.
you can make a killing or you get killed. Someone
Yeah,
wrote that.
and I don't think I would have arrived at that myself without you giving me a nudge or a push. And the other, it'd be interesting. I've got other examples of that. So I used to have some where I used to live. There's two guys who used to work at RBS, and they had a lot of shares in RBS in 2008, and by 2009 they were completely worthless.
Oh yeah, of course,
because of what happened. You go, God, that's like horrific for people, because a lot of people tie up their pension or their overall wealth with the company that they work for. And the reality is, yeah, we all think the company that we work for is going to be fine, but things can happen.
It's just the worst thing because your salary and your savings
everything
is all on that.
Everything.
So I think people seem to believe that because they work there, they know more.
Yeah.
But I can't find bloody Post-it notes in my own stock cupboard ever. Right, so that just goes to prove that you don't know what's going on. Everyone else has them. Like, I've got multiple coloured. I can't ever find.
I think, Steve, it might be that your team are trying to tell you something.
It was because they're all quite short and they put them on the lower shelves. And when you're taller, so
go around on your hands and knees.
When you're taller, the other shelves block your view.
That sounds to me like an excuse, Steve.
It's not. This is a fact. Ask anyone over 6 foot, and they will tell you they can't find stuff that the short.
I think you need to speak to your team then about this.
Yeah,
they're not being inclusive with you.
You know what they like. They don't respect me. They do it on purpose. Anyway, aside from my woes as an employer,
and your lack of post-it notes.
Yeah, but you don't know what's going on in the company.
No, you don't always know, and therefore, being heavily exposed or invested in one organisation just because you work there is in reality risky.
There's another thing here as well. Like, you may do very well by doing that. Like, you may make a lot of money, right? But that is luck most of the time. And kind of, there was a quote. I think it was about blackjack in casinos, where you play. Say you're on 19, and you ask for another card, right? It's probably a dumb decision, but if it comes up 2 and you get 21, everyone will be like, "Oh, well done,
amazing."
Like, it's still just because you won doesn't make it not a dumb decision.
Yeah, and it's about a 6% chance of getting a 2, I think.
Is it? There you go.
Something like that. I haven't done the maths, but it's probably something like that.
So
it's 1 in 13, isn't it?
I don't know. It's still not a good decision though. So
no, it's a risky decision.
Yeah,
very
just
risky.
Because it comes okay.
Mm.
It
doesn't mean it's a good decision
all the time. So I see this a lot. People do it once, and then I'll be saying the same sort of thing. Don't do it, and they think, "Oh no, it'd be good. I'm sure because I know this." You don't know anything, right? No one knows what's going on. I think.
Yeah. Well, not completely, yeah. And I think you're right. So that was very good advice.
It turned out it might not have been, but it was good because it's what's most likely.
Well, it was good advice because it was right. It was the right advice, and it made me think. And ultimately, it was my decision. Yeah, you said this is what I would do if I was in your position. But it was good advice because actually it was the right decision that it led to. But the fact that the price went down and went after I'd sold versus going up, that's almost irrelevant.
So as we know, working with a financial advisor like our company is all sunshine and rainbows mainly. But What's been the downsides?
I don't think there are any downsides, actually.
Do you not?
No, I don't think there is. I mean, obviously, I'd rather pay fewer fees than more fees. I mean, that's kind of goes with the territory, but that's the same for everything, isn't it? Any service that you buy, you'd like to have it at the lowest price possible. But I'm happy with the out, because I look at it from an overall perspective. It's a bit like your point about, cleaners and cars and stuff like that. I mean, I definitely wouldn't fix my own car because I'd make a right pig's ear of that.
You might crash it and kill yourself.
Might crash it, and if I'm lucky, it would go again. That's the thing. I probably wouldn't go again. Would I do my own cleaning and so on? I mean, I probably can, but I probably wouldn't do it as well as somebody I would pay to do. And it's the same with this, yeah. So, is there a downside? No, not really. I even quite look forward to our annual review meeting.
You missed it. You didn't turn up.
No. Well, sometimes
Kath was there. Ian's doing this.
Sometimes I can be a little busy or distracted, but I look forward to it. It doesn't mean I actually go to it.
We had one a month later, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, we did. For the benefit of everybody listening, we did actually conclude the annual review at some point a month later.
And if anyone from the FCA is listening, within the appropriate time limits.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I can second that. Whatever those time limits are.
Right. So, you've been great with us. I've really enjoyed you becoming a client. Just want to get you up to that esteemed level, and then you're away.
There's always room for improvement on both sides, I think, Steve.
That's it. So, right, stop giggling, Steve. Just slap yourself around the ass, around the face to everybody who's not watching this. Okay, so next thing then, Ian. We're all getting on a bit, aren't we? I'm feeling
You're
age.
apparently approaching 50. Is the room? That's the rumour.
Oh, do you know my birthday's mid-December, so 2 weeks later, it's the new year, isn't it? So now, next year, I'm 50, which is December 2027. But it's next year. Which, no one thought I'd make it past 30, so it's all good.
I mean, November 2027, my decade changes as well.
Does it?
That's all I'll say. Yeah, so I'll become 40.
Should you have a joint party?
Well, we could have a joint party. We could have a wedding anniversary, Steve's birthday, Ian's birthday, Kath's birthday party.
Oh, yeah, that was very clever as well, getting married on her birthday.
It was. I thought it was it was a financially prudent decision. That's one you didn't advise me on either.
Dude, I'll get killed. Right, okay, so we're going to move on to another subject now because we're getting older and retirement comes to mind. So you're not going to imminently retire.
No.
Because you love your work, don't you? But
I do like it. I do like it a lot, but I also feel like, and I think some of the most interesting podcasts that you and Jess have done have been on retirement. And that's because they're more
to you, doesn't it?
relevant to me. But I do find it interesting because actually I'm not going to work longer than I have to. I enjoy what I do. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy what I do. I like it a lot. But I don't want to work.
You do. Like, this is true because when you say you enjoy your work and stuff and how you talk about it. So I have other people similar age to you that we look after. And when they tell me, I know they're going through the motions because that's what they say at work. Oh, yeah, really enjoy it. But you actually light up a bit.
Oh, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the team that I work with. I enjoy the people that I work with. I enjoy what I do. And I get a lot of energy. I put a lot into it and I get a lot of energy back from it. And so that's a positive. And actually, that's probably one of my biggest concerns about retiring it's not the status of being, whoever I am. That's not actually the concern. The concern is, how am I going to fill my day, and how am I going to replace all of these people that I know, things that I do, the intellectual challenge of what I'm dealing with, or the energy that I get from that. That's what actually concerns me. That massive change of routine.
You help people a lot as well, though, don't you?
Yeah, we do, and we have some. Let's be honest. In Reward, you have a mix of difficult situations to deal with, and you have and people that you help because you're dealing with maybe problems in their personal life, problems with their health, problems with their dependents, and so on. So yeah, we've got a whole spectrum of different individual people that we deal with.
But that's that's something, because people get a sense of well-being from helping.
Yeah, you get a sense of satisfaction from
that you
sorting something out for someone
as well. And being like the expert, that's enough. You're the go-to guy about.
Yeah, and you're right.
I mean, I went to you about something, didn't I?
You did. I don't know if you like my answer, but I did go to you.
I did. It was the best answer. It was the answer I wanted, to be fair.
The answer you wanted, yeah. Okay, well, that's the right answer then. Yeah, I think there's a degree of, everybody likes to be liked, don't they, or wanted. Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody does, but most people do. Most people like
species.
Yeah, exactly. Most people like to feel that they're useful, productive. They can help people, or they can sort out problems, or they can answer questions, whatever it may be. There's people are naturally most people naturally have that bias within them.
Yeah.
Even if people might not admit it, they do.
So I think that's what you'll struggle with.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
So busy executives, you're not one of them that wants the status.
I'm not going through the motions, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're not a showy person.
But yeah, no, and so obviously I've got a garden, and I've got Kath and the dog and the chickens and stuff like that. So they'll keep me busy, but they probably won't want the same things as people at work do.
So I don't know what level how you rate intellectual stimulation, but I assume it might be higher than a chicken.
It's quite high. It's quite higher than a chicken. It's higher than a chicken, that's for sure. Although, to be fair, the chickens they definitely kind of talk amongst themselves when I'm up there.
Yeah.
So I think they're talking about me. Not that I'm paranoid in any way.
But listening to the birds. It's going to go.
Yeah, intellectual stimulation is a big part of the job as well, actually.
Well, I think that's what you'll miss, and working stuff out.
And I can only do so many Sudoku or crosswords. I'd like to learn a language.
Yeah. What one?
English. No, I'd like to probably go for Spanish or Italian. Spanish because it's very useful, but Italian because it just sounds good. Molto bene, grazie.
Ciao bella. God, I hope there's no Italians listening. I'm going to feel offended. I'm sorry. Learning a language is very, very good for your head, isn't it? Because although the rest of us rots, your brain can continue to make connections for your whole life, can't it? And a language is the best way of doing that. So that staves off, I think it's been shown, it staves off dementia and things like that. Through making new neural connections.
Yeah, so that appeals to me. But, that's probably not going to be 8 hours a day, is it?
So can we have a promise then, 2 years' time?
I'm learning a language.
2 years after you retire, whenever that is. Yeah, that we'll do another podcast. That'll be
in Spanish or Italian.
Yeah, purely.
in Spanish or Italian. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might struggle to actually kind of ask the questions on that one then.
I've got an A level in Latin.
Wow.
It's the base of the Romance languages.
Who knew? Man of many talents.
So retirement's a difficult one. How to keep yourself amused. Everyone who's listening to this, you need to be thinking about what you're going to do.
Well, if there's any interesting people out there who want interesting things done that don't involve fixing a car or whatever, or doing anything particularly kind of handy like that, I'm very happy to pitch in.
Well, they're great things, aren't they, like that available? like repair
Because
shops.
interestingly, you know, this will sound a little arrogant, and it's not meant to, but I am actually be quite keen on helping people with the benefit of my experience. I was going to say wisdom, but I'm not sure that's right. I think more experience from a job, career, running a business, yes, I don't know about running my own business because I've never run my own business, but I can guarantee you that I could add something to people, whether that's about financial expertise, thinking about reward, thinking about employment practices, because that's something I do touch on quite a lot as well. I even dabbled in marketing for a couple of years, about 25 years ago. Yeah.
What was that doing then?
It was actually, I was living in Chicago at the time.
Yeah.
And
this sounds so cool. I was in Chicago doing marketing.
Marketing, yeah. And I was the brand lead for Baileys and Smirnoff and wines in the Midwest.
Just in the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, I went out as far as North Dakota. I never went to North Dakota.
From the deep south.
Very different from the deep south, I can assure you. Very different. So I went to the Detroit Tigers, and we put Smirnoff raspberry and lemonade on tap into the Detroit Tigers. It was very interesting.
So, I'll tell you a story now. So when I left uni, I sold fruit in America for 3 or 4 months.
Sold what in America?
Fruit, peaches, cherries and stuff.
Wow.
Mainly in Colorado, and then I went travelling, and then my mates went back because I had to go to uni. And I thought, I'm going to go to Toronto. So I went to Toronto, and then I got the Greyhound bus late at night to Chicago, and I had $5 on me, American dollars, right? And you go under the lake on the border, and I got out of the bus, and you have to show me passport and stuff. It's all fine, visa's fine, and all that. And there was a $4 readmission charge. I'm like, what? I've only been out 3 days. So I literally had a few quarters left, and that was it. And I turn up in Chicago at the bus station, which is, where bus stations are.
Yeah, they're not normally in the most salubrious parts of town.
And it was like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
And you lived to tell the tale. That's quite impressive.
It's just a scary night. I thought, I'm not going outside now. I can't afford a taxi. Because, like this was, when was it? 1999.
Oh, guess where I was living in 1999? Yeah. Did he give me a call?
Yeah, what if I'd left? I would have got shot or something. And then you'd go, British man killed. And you'd be like, oh, and turned it off. And that would have been it. And you still own those shares.
Exactly. Sliding doors moment.
I remember that. Scary. Anyway, it's fine.
Yeah. That would have been a little hazardous.
Right. So, next topic, Ian. New wife, new life.
Yeah.
How's that been?
Who knew? Well, nearly 2 months in. It's been very good, actually. Thanks.
Yeah, it was a great wedding. Thanks.
It was a very good wedding. Yeah. Do you get to go to all of your clients' weddings?
I've been to 3 now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Ours was the best, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Well, it was a very good wedding. But it's the best one I've been to. But I knew other people.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Yeah.
So before I've been, and and you don't. Obviously, I didn't talk too much, but you can't talk to the groomman.
No.
Or bride, because
they're busy doing bride and groom stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I had a really fun time. Thank you. And the next morning, when I walked back, I found an interesting Iron Age site.
What in the on the way to the Earth Trust?
Yeah, I've forgotten what it's called now. Some dike or something.
I thought the barn was very good for the benefit of listeners or watchers, if they're still managed to stay awake through this part. We got married in a barn, and Kath and I had photographs on the sort of on the moors next to this barn, this Earth Trust barn, in our wellies, which are some of our favourite photographs. Yeah,
Nice.
slightly unconventional, but then I think getting married in a barn's a little unconventional, but it was good. It was a great day, actually. It was a really nice day, lovely day.
And was Kath
really enjoyed it.
In her gown still?
Yeah, she was in a gown with her wellies.
With the wellies, brilliant. That's nice, that.
And I was in my wellies in my suit. So yeah, it was very good.
So you don't have to answer these questions because they might be sensitive. So obviously, two families come in together essentially.
Yeah.
How financially? How's that been? Have there been rows or disagreements, or have you all been quite
relatively amicable?
Yeah,
I would say relatively amicable. I mean, my kids are older. My kids are in their 20s, so it sort of, they're obviously not at home, whereas Kath's kids are teenagers, and so they tend to spend, I think, 50% of the time as it is with us. But yeah, I think we just don't really argue. So yeah, it's all very amicable, and yeah, I think we're in a good position overall. So I'm fortunate enough that I can help to pay for whatever we need to pay for, and Kath's got her job and all that sort of stuff. So we're in a good place overall. I don't think there's any sort of disagreements as far as I can tell. But we are only 2 months in.
And because for a lot of people when they get married second time, once bitten, twice shy, and all that, has that caused any issues, or you've both gone into it fully open-minded and accepting of one another?
Yeah, I think, maybe naively, we're not really thinking too much about it.
I know, because you're both really soppy. That's why I asked these.
We're both very happy, and we're both kind of very
romantics.
Kind of chilled and relaxed about it. So we're not. That almost feels a little bit too serious and transactional to worry about it. So we haven't worried about it. We haven't really. I mean, we've discussed it, but not in depth. And I think we're okay.
I think this attitude is how you should be about all money, really.
Yeah, I mean, it is only money, and obviously it's important in terms of living standards and all that sort of stuff, but it shouldn't be the be all and end all. It shouldn't be. It's interesting because you talk about it on the podcast, you talk about, being happiness and how financial, I don't know what the words are, financial happiness can lead to hopefully happiness, or financial well-being can lead to happiness and all that sort of stuff, which I think it's a contributing factor, but it definitely, for me, it doesn't. And it's easy for me to say this, I appreciate, but it doesn't mean, it's not like the be all and end all. It's like, I could be happy with less, and, I don't have a problem, sharing whatever I've got with Kath and her children, because as far as I'm concerned, we're just one family.
Yeah. I think
I do always seem to buy the fish and chips, so.
Well, they're so expensive these days, aren't they?
They are. Who knew?
Even just spuds. And you do live a long way from the sea, don't you?
We do, yeah. My wallet gets a bit of a battering. Not just
you're
the
from
fish.
the northeast where you can see.
Where things cost sixpence.
I didn't mean that, but where you're close to the sea. That's what I mean.
We are close to the sea. Well, I did live close to the sea, or closer, yeah.
You could probably go fishing from your house, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I used to look at the shipyards on the River Tyne from my bedroom.
Did you?
Which I wouldn't advise going shipping on the River Tyne. Yeah, going fishing on the River Tyne.
No. So I've forgotten my point now, and it was a very good one. Anyway,
money and
money doesn't make you happy.
Families.
Money doesn't make you happy, so we just try to go stop thinking about it.
Yeah,
because whatever amount you've got, there would be a way to make yourself okay.
Yeah,
I
think so.
So don't make it an anxiety-inducing thing.
Yeah, and I think it's
thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you go through different stages in your life, don't you? I mean, when you're in your 20s and you're trying to buy a property or whatever it may be, and I know that's not easy for many people these days, but probably in my era, you could buy a property in your 20s. And then you kind of feel like every last penny is spoken for, and probably quite a lot more. But it does change over time.
Yeah, it'll get better.
But then you have kids, and then that. But so it just, as long as you can survive, I think that's the key thing, and keep, hopefully enjoy things, whether there's holidays or experiences or,
Well, I look back to when I was in my 20s. I was quite skint, but I don't remember it now. Like I remember I didn't spend much on what I needed to do, but I wasn't unhappy because of it. If anything, I was happier because it was easier, because I knew what I had to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So like less choice isn't always a bad thing.
Choice can be quite troubling.
It's overwhelming. This is going back to retirement. This is,
because you've got so many things you could do.
You could do anything because you got the money. You don't.
But the risk is you could do nothing as well.
This is it. Well, because you got so many choices, you do nothing. It's a bit like when you leave school. Do anything I want. So I'll just watch cricket for a whole month.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And go drinking at the park.
Yeah.
You could do anything. So that is an issue with retirement, I think. You need to narrow them down.
Yeah. No, it's right. It's right. So, but yeah, I think married life is very good. There's plenty of things to keep us busy, whether that's Kath's children, my children, obviously Kath's parents. We've got obviously big garden that we like. Kath likes to spend a lot of time in. I'm less keen on it, but I'm sure when I'm retired, I'll spend more time in it. Although it has been January and it's been pretty wet recently, so that's not been very nice.
Right, Ian.
Right.
What socks are you wearing?
And now for Sockology, where Jess and Steve review types of sock and how your socks affect your mood.
They're really dull.
Are they?
I've actually got 2 pairs of socks on.
I should have asked this before. You got 2?
You should have asked. Yeah, 2 pairs of socks on.
Come on then, let's have a look. Get your foot up.
Oh, my word. Well, I'm kind of just going to show you the patterned sock. I'm getting my foot up.
All
stripy socks.
Is that sort of beige, taupe, or green?
It's olive green, I'd say. Olive green.
And how does that one make you feel?
It makes me feel like it's a pair of socks, and it helps to keep my feet warm. It just makes me feel like I've got to put on my feet to try and keep them warm, which is why I tend to wear 2 pairs of socks, because then I keep them warm when I'm sitting around on my backside during the day at work. I don't wear 2 pairs when I go into the office, just at home. The sitting still tends to mean that you get cold feet after a while.
Right. Okay, so now we're just going to have a brief interlude while we hear about why you should give us a review.
Steve and Jess would be really grateful if you'd leave them a review on wherever you listen to your podcasts. If they run a star system, please give Juggling Mind and Money more stars than the Milky Way.
Welcome back. Right, please leave us a review. It's really important because I only found out Ian listened to our podcast, Juggling Mind and Money, when he mentioned it. And I never thought you'd listen to this, Ian. And then he says, I've been watching them all and it's like a comedy show. Did you?
Well, some of it is comedy gold. I love it.
And if you'd left a review, Ian, I wouldn't have made you come on it.
You'd have known, yeah. And that is true, actually. I haven't left a review. Maybe I should leave a review of this one.
Yeah, you should leave a review, a written one, please.
A written one.
And then I can read it out. Okay.
Right, okay.
So for anyone else out there, if you ever mention you like our podcast to me
You're on
and
it.
you haven't left a review, you're coming on it. So that is the threat to leave one.
That is the threat indeed, yeah.
So Ian, it's been lovely talking to you for a bit longer without looking at any graphs or whatever we do.
I feel like that is a missing, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've not looked at a chart
for you, is it?
Yeah.
That's because you're a trained accountant. Okay. And it's been interesting looking at your transitions in life that you've been going through with marrying Kath and going from being an empty, grey, non-advised person
whatever that is, yes,
to it being someone with a financial advisor, at least some financial planning, that is now, as we said before, all bathed in sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
and
it's been good.
Feeling absolutely beautiful and delightful. The only problem, it hasn't got to your socks yet. So you haven't got any glittery, sparkly socks.
No, I'm not a glittery, sparkly sock kind of person, to be honest. I've had.
You're very dour northerner then.
I don't know about dour, but I'm
not really a glittery person.
I'm not a glittery person, man, Geordie. I was I saw something flashed up on Facebook earlier. It was about Julio Jodio.
Oh yeah, from the Fast Show. Julio
Jodio. Player and gentleman.
That is great.
There were other things as well, by the way. And then there was my other favourite one is Geordie in the Antarctic. Have you ever seen Geordie in the Antarctic, which was on Reeves and Mortimer? That's definitely worth a watch. That is.
I'll tell you what.
Brought the beer and the crisps, man. I thought we'd just go to the kebab shop. It's priceless.
I love how you think you're doing an impression, but you're just talking normally. Hey, wouldn't it be good to get Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse
on here
on this?
It would be very good, yeah.
You'd become co-host for the day.
I could absolutely co-host that.
I was talking about this with another one of our clients. We went for a pint. I'd never met him in real life before, just all been on Zoom. And we were talking about that because he wants to get into fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that program. What was it? Oh, my mind.
It was the two of them, wasn't it? Paul Whitehouse.
Gone fishing or something.
Yeah.
And which I watch a lot. And he said, yeah, my wife thinks that about fishing. I was like, it's not about fishing. And he's like, I know. It's about two blokes and sort of manly bonding.
Exactly.
In it and talking about life and stuff. It's a good show. Anyone probably at age 50 or 45 or over, right?
Would appreciate it.
You should watch that if you're a fella. And if you're a lady, to maybe understand your partner.
With a male mind.
A little bit better. And don't think, it's just fishing, what you're all banging.
Have you inflicted that on Ellie?
Well, she did the same thing. What's this? Turn it off. Anyway, it's been good exploring those various transitions with you, Ian. It's been a fun time. That is it for now. If we get more than 2 reviews on this podcast, we will demand you back for another show.
All right. Okay. Got to get some friends and family to listen to it and they can post a review.
That's it. Spread it round at work. Let's get loads of watchers and listeners. All right. Thanks very much, Ian.
All right. Very good. Okay.
Take care. See you later.
Lovely to speak to you, Steve. All right. Take care. See ya.